Check your non-binary interpretation spectrum tonight. Everyone has a million reasons to blow your brains out with me, Ricky Warden, and Dave Jarvis.
That is me.
I don't know where Ariel is at tonight. We miss you every time you're not here, but we have our special guests, the Spooky Pops Productions, Hector and Eric. We do invite everyone to participate in the program tonight in the comments. I am your engineer. I will be checking the comments, and if you have a question, I will present it to our guest and to Dave Jarvis, and you too can be a part of this program. If we have any bands listening tonight, y'all want to come on the panel after 10 or so and promote your shows, we'd love to have you. All right, everybody, now is the time that you have been waiting for.
Yeah.
The brilliant, incredible, and genius host, Dave Jarvis.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Wednesday, September, was it 20th, I think?
Yes.
Dude, the fucking September is flying by, dude. Fucking July and August just fucking stood fucking still. But September is
all
just
the heat.
breezing right by. And
Yeah,
it's
with
still
all the
fucking
heat.
90.
Yesterday, the Aaron
Still
Rodgers
fucking
down. There's another jet on 9/11, so you never know.
Good Lord.
Yeah, I never know. But yeah, welcome to the podcast, Eric and Hector. It's Spooky Pops Productions. How y'all been, gentlemen?
How is your week this week? How's that?
Man,
Stressful.
not stressful enough. No, it's going okay. Just trying to put together a movie, and sometimes it's not the easiest thing, but it's also fun though. So when it all comes together, it's awesome. But you know, everybody knows trying to put something together out of nothing. It's not always the easiest.
I mean,
Hey,
Yeah,
do me a favor. You guys be sure to speak up since you're sharing the mic there
Oh,
in the
sorry.
studio. Oh,
Yes.
no, you're okay. We could hear you just in the future so that we can hear you the best. Be sure to scoot up and speak up. Hey, Dave Jarvis, how
We're
was
gonna
your
pull
week,
closer.
brother?
Right down here? Is it?
now we're gonna put closers right there.
there you go. Sound lovely.
Is it
Better? We're better now. Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Is it better? Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
I see it. Looks like
Yeah.
a working combination.
right, no doubt.
So yeah,
well,
no,
you
it's
know-
been a fucking nightmare to be honest with you. Like,
Yeah. It's,
there's nothing worse than making movies. Is one of the funnest, fulfilling things on earth. But
the process of making movies also
is one of the most nightmarish, flaky, shitty things to ever exist. Like, we basically are now 2 days off of filming, and we don't have a cameraman or a camera.
well, we thank
Sounds-
y'all for taking a break from the process to come, promote yourselves out here. That's what we're all about. We're here to promote local music, art, cinema. So thank y'all, gentlemen, for coming out on a Wednesday.
To blow
absolutely.
your
I
brains
didn't want to
out.
leave you hanging.
So for those that don't know, it's Spooky Pops Productions. This will be y'all's second short film?
Sixth,
Sixth. Okay.
and this will be a This will be a sequel to last year's same competition where we won the trophy for what's called Pablo. This will be a sequel to that, which we're going to break into three shorts, him as a kid, and turn that into a actual like slasher horror
There's a
movie.
little prequel trilogy until it gets bigger. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, no fucking way.
Trilogy, yeah.
Everybody listening, check it out. A Spooky Pops Productions. They're making movies, and that's what we're talking about tonight.
You can actually Pablo, the first one, you can see it on YouTube, but you have to put it Texas Horror Cult Pablo.
Now, what inspired the whole evil kid premise?
You want the truth?
Yes.
We were being lazy assholes, and we couldn't decide on a movie, and we were like sitting around. We had 6 weeks to do it. Week 5, we scrapped our whole other idea. And we're like, you know what? Fuck it. We're gonna do this. And in one weekend, we put this together. We used Hector's nephew, who loves horror movies. He's autistic, makes all kinds of awesome, like, he'll take like horror action figures and make them like more grandiose.
Almost like Sid from Toy Story, but a little more sadistic, yeah.
A little more sadistic, and
yeah.
And we're just like, we just basically had a light bulb. We're like, man, are we really gonna let this pass us by? And we decided to do it. Pablo,
first time acting and anything, and he just
there we go.
He was easy to write. At first, he was nervous, you could tell, but then as the shoot went along,
oh, give them a second. Listen,
yeah,
it's on 6 minutes. That's me and Hector right there.
Mm-hmm.
Me as good old Captain Spaulding.
Hey, we're here with the plumbing. Tell your parents on the side of the house, all right?
It's fucking weird, man.
If you've ever wanted a whack easy here, this should be satisfying.
Here it is. Here's the time to kill me.
What do you want?
I brought you some water, mister.
Thanks, kid. Why don't you go ahead and scram? I need to get back to work.
Do you like baseball?
What do you mean do I like baseball? Man, I'm working. Scram. Go talk to your parents or something. Leave me alone. Stop bugging me.
I love it.
Yeah, tear his heart out.
Good,
Yeah.
I love it.
So this kid right here, at this point, he's 11?
He's 11 right now. Yeah, he's 11.
11 right there. So at first, now he's autistic, which makes it even cooler. So at first, he was like, "Man, I don't want to hurt you guys. I love you guys." And once we explained that is not the case, yeah, a little more. Once we explained that is not the case, oh, he became a little director. He was like,
"Oh yeah,
I feel like I should." I should stab you like this.
Yeah, halfway through the shoot, giving us notes and stuff.
I feel like my character's motivation would go get a Sprite at this point.
Exactly.
Moving. You're like, you can't even see your. Yeah, there you go.
There we go. Even leading into the sequel, like, he's been giving me like notes on what he wants to do and yada yada yada. I'm just like, all right, well, we'll just we'll keep that in mind, you know.
And this part right here that we just saw, this is literally probably the first thing we shot. Actually, no, this was the first thing. No, first thing was just us pulling up in the car, or the truck. But
yeah,
this is the first thing we shot, and he even looked at me. He's like, "Man, I don't want to hurt you or you guys, you know." And once I told him, like, "Hey, man, all these movies you watch that you love, you're straight." And he's like, "Oh, let me find out more how I can fuck you up."
Yeah, he was into it.
It was beautiful.
He loved it.
I'm talking about.
He had a great mischievous smile too. I mean, I was hooked.
Yeah,
like he had me drawn in. Like I was like, all right, I got to see it. So,
and I'll tell you right now, the next scene, there's a little, drawing he's doing. Because there's a babysitter that comes in, yada yada yada. Babysitter's like, "Hey, what you doing there?" He's like, "Oh, I'm just drawing my babysitter." We asked this kid before we even shot the shot, or even really didn't even know what we were going to do with it. We go, "Hey, go draw some messed up picture about you and a babysitter." So the picture that's in this that you're about to show,
he did about like 5 minutes, maybe.
He did that in like 5 damn minutes. Actually, he brought it back, and they were like, "Hey, can you just make it a little bit bigger?" And 5 minutes later, that's when you get the movie right there.
The more you tell me, the more I'm in love with this kid.
He was
So
good.
good.
He was a trooper. Like, he was towards the end getting like blood spilled in his face. He takes of that, and then but going up until about 12 a.m. shooting and almost 1 a.m. shooting, for a kid that's. I mean, his parents.
And luckily, we don't give a shit about child labor. So
yeah.
what is that?
It's his nephew.
That's what we called fun when we were kids, man. What do you mean? You're cutting me out on the fun? Fuck you.
But no lie, I think. I mean, as fun as this movie was to make, and then as fun as it was using my nephew, I think the overall the best part of everything was during the production, or I'm sorry, during when we go see the theater, because there was a whole red carpet thing.
The awards.
Yeah. So they do like a whole red carpet thing for all the teams, all 15 movies get screened and everything.
19.
Cool.
And, after that, we all came out and we all congregated by the red carpet and we were taking pictures. And then all of a sudden, so he already knows he's getting the trophy. So he's
already got the trophy.
He's like, "Oh, it's my trophy." So we're like, "Fuck it, we gotta let him have it. Why not?" And so all of a sudden, someone starts yelling, "Pablo!"
We're in the foyer.
Pablo, yeah, from the stands.
At the Texas Theater.
Yeah, and then the whole entire crowd starts chanting Pablo. So he has this little Rudy moment. He like sticks his hand up in the air with his trophy, and I'm thinking like he's gonna remember that for the rest of his life.
It was cool as shit.
That is fucking awesome.
That right
Sure
there.
is, man. I love that.
Like I want to, yeah. So when we do these kind of things,
Making
what we
dreams.
to do, we'll be at the Texas Theater, historical theater. They'll show all these submissions. They'll come out. They'll judge all of them. We hit third, which is arguably we hit third because we still have more views than any of the first or second.
Yeah.
And clearly we were a fan favorite. So we got the and I'll never forget. I was holding the trophy, and he goes, "Oh my god, my trophy!" I was like, "Oh fuck, I'll never see this trophy again." Let me get a picture real quick with this trophy, which more than okay with. But like you just said, this is not an exaggeration. Yeah, we did all that, and then everybody pours out to the foyer to get last minute pictures and just kind of congregate and like network. And I don't know what sparked it, but he was in line. The whole theater that was now in the foyer started chanting Pablo, and the look on his face, and just how cool is that?
Yeah.
Awesome, man.
Yeah. And dude, Texas Theater is a beautiful theater.
Oh yeah,
Beautiful.
amazing, especially for horror too.
And for the rest of this kid's life, 11-year-old autistic kid, love the horror, has a movie named after his real name was Pablo, named after him, and has a whole theater chanting his name. How fucking cool is that?
I can find a way to make it
Totally.
like,
Way
Totally
cool.
cool.
We'll say it
Yeah.
all night long, man. That is fucking awesome. I love, youth. I love seeing, the youth be productive to accomplish things, but also to see people facilitate that. So that's just a beautiful thing. Thank you for sharing that, man. You guys are fucking awesome.
Like money school and all that, but like the point of making movies is how people feel after they see your thing and how it makes you feel as a director and how
Out of 6 movies, that was by far the most beautiful moment. Like that was so cool.
they just see something so cool. Something like as far as like starting from like a pen and a piece of paper to like seeing it on screen. There's no better feeling than seeing that come through in fruition. It's awesome.
So what's the writing process like?
Oh, ours is very unorthodox, honestly.
Yeah, but it depends what it's for. If it's like something longer.
We've never done anything longer. We always do short shit.
Well, I mean, like as far as like the
Our show, yeah.
But I mean, just depending, like sometimes like we'll just like I'll blueprint it out and then we'll just both attack it, and then from there, and then like what we need, what we don't need.
We're very much we're gonna do like a kind of a guide more than anything because we do so much ad-libbing and we change our minds so much on set, and we try to guide everybody on set, and especially when you're doing like 6 minutes, 8 minutes, which 2 minutes makes a huge difference, but we do so much
You have to cut
changing at the moment. Like people are like, "Oh, well, can I get a?" People that want to be actors or whatever, like, "Hey, can I get a script?" I'm like, "Well, we kind of have a outline. We don't really have a script because we're gonna probably change your shit."
Blueprint, yeah,
it's more of a blueprint because ultimately we're normally working on a schedule that's has our back to the corner, and if anything, I feel like we realize between the two of us, we've done it enough where with such a short film, like a 5, 6, our first one was a 48-hour film race.
Good Lord.
So small time, you don't have time to write a script.
Yeah.
And on top of that, how we write doesn't necessarily mean the actor is going to sound right saying what we're saying.
Yeah.
So we're going to give you a kind of a foundation. We'll let you build the house based on the character. And we found that, honestly, we've gotten the most out of actors that aren't necessarily that good.
Yep.
That's how we get the most out of them.
Let them do their thing and let them, bring the actors out of them,
Yeah, because there's nothing worse than somebody that sounds like,
Someone
fucking
sounds
Resident
reading
Evil.
script,
Somebody
yeah.
that sounds like Resident Evil 1 dialogue. You know what I mean?
because they're just reading something and they have no idea really where they should take it. And
Yeah, that's what Woody Allen did. He would just go up to his actors and say, "Hey, if you don't like the lines, you can change them."
Yeah, and we're okay with that.
I'm sure as we go along, we're going
I'm not Kevin Smith.
As we go along,
Ad
we'll get
lib.
more. Yeah, as we go along, we'll get more, into like dialogue and like writing it out for them. But like as far as like these like shorter films, we don't have enough time sometimes to get a whole 5-minute conversation.
It's just so on the fly. It's just tough to because if we do it, then someone sounds like shit. Well, now what we do is sit, take time, rewrite. I'd rather just let them take what we write and then say it how they would say it.
Yeah, especially for right now. I mean, like with these film races, because like the introduction can only be so long, and then the end credits have to be so long, and then so you really only have like maybe 5-6 minutes of meat you can put in there, and just to make it all make sense and all that. So,
does the competition have parameters that you need to work inside? Like you can only have this much blood, or you can only have this many curse words?
No, actually, they're very awesome at that. We can show titty. The irony is, we try to put tits and ass in every movie we've ever made, and we've never found a reason on the final cut to have it in.
Yeah, I mean, of course, you want to make the schools to be able to see. We want to make sure the actors always feel safe, whatever. And then we want to make sense, not just hey, look, there's tits.
We had cocaine and chicks in hot tubs and all kinds of stuff in our lap, and we still couldn't find a way to insert gratuitous nudity.
Oh yeah,
we have been trying so hard.
You can have kids and you can have tits, but you can't have kids and tits.
Oh, we could probably pull it off, but we've just never found.
There was that one Jumanji. They had that one time.
Jumanji. Yeah. Well, we just never found a reason a final cut that needed tits, and we're just like, God damn it, because we had people that are willing. We're like, oh, we can't do it.
Maybe we'll take Pablo to a strip club or something. We'll see. Who knows?
Have you screened any of your films for other competitions?
No, we haven't. We were talking about that too. Like we want to expand it past Texas Protocol because
we want to make director's cuts of things that really fell short.
Yeah, some stuff that we've had. They were very ambitious, I guess you could say, for the time length. We want to make like director's cuts for longer, like, especially the last one.
Our last one for sure.
And then just go from there.
Our last one. As much as it was ambitious, I think we could have fitted in the 8 minutes. It was a true crime one. I think the issue. I don't think. I know.
We usually make like 30 minutes.
That too, but our cameraman.
Were you like made fun of true crime? Or parody?
No, we actually went very serious to it. It was almost like Identity with.
Yeah, it was kind of like Identity mixed with like Shutter Island.
Yeah, I mean, kind of the same. Yeah, which is really kind of identity. It's kind of like an Identity type thing, and like I never heard this phrase until literally we're at the movie theater. I'm not gonna. I kid you not. We have me, him, his family, my family, our actors, their significant others, whatever, and we'd only experienced this one before. And I'll tell you right now, as soon as they showed our movie, I got up, walked the fuck out of the theater. I didn't wait to hear the.
I did.
I was so fucking embarrassed because our editor completely screwed us.
Oh no!
Oh, it killed our baby. Man. He tried to edit it in one day. We turned it in even late, and it was such a heaping pile of shit. I was so embarrassed.
Oh, man.
Which is, hey,
I got a couple of those.
Well, on top of the fact that it was the most flake-ridden shit we've probably ever done as far as actors went. My own sister and brother-in-law bailed out.
Yeah. We were talking about that when we were backstage. Yeah, dude, flakes are abundant, especially when it comes to acting.
Easy actually hired an escort, but yeah.
So,
did you have to rewrite the parts, or did you just rewrite the script?
No, we just called a bunch of friends and said, "Hey, like, we need your help." And luckily, we had some good people come out and help us. People that believe in us, they come out and they're like, "All right," and we just told them what's going on, and and we're actually surprisingly on schedule for shooting.
The first day, which should have been the most disastrous, we ended up on schedule when it came down to it.
Somewhat, yeah. I mean, we were like 2 hours behind, but as far as the day,
the next day that we thought was going to be so smooth, we're going to be at John B's, the bar, and most of it was going to be done in the office back there. It was perfect. It was like a private investigator's office. That, oh my god, fighting with the DJ, with people wanting to play fucking music on the juke. It was just a nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
Have you all considered making a movie without a competition in mind? Just start from the heart and work on passion?
Oh, first off, that's what started all of this.
We have our baby. Yeah.
We have our baby, so me and Hector used to work together at McCullers, north or south. We would literally kick everybody out. Once we got done, did our duties from about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning till sometimes 6, 7 in the morning. We wrote our first episode of our pilot is 43 pages, and I'm talking about we've ad nauseum come through it, made it awesome. That's our baby.
Yeah,
it's called Bouncers. It's something that's never been done before. That is our passion project. That is what we're doing. These are for is to gain the skills, basically.
Up and running. Yeah, we want to get that up and running. It's kind of like how the bar would be through the eyes of the bouncers. You always see like on TV shows like the bartenders and all that stuff. They're always the mainstays, but the bouncers. We're actually the eyes and ears of everything. We see everything. We know everything's going on somehow. So we pretty much decided to do
and we're just showing, and even the bartenders and everybody, we're showing what it looks like on the opposite side of the patron's vision.
Yeah, the DJ and everything.
So it's basically Roadhouse.
Kind of like Roadhouse, but like with more cocaine.
Yeah, way more cocaine.
Okay.
we confiscate cocaine, then we gotta do it in the back ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you got a little bit of like that bad lieutenant thing going on.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
So hold on, let's just go ahead and tell the story. Because we have 2 minutes. So okay.
We appreciate y'all being here with us tonight.
Yeah, share away, buddy.
So this how it started. So we're both working at the bar, we're both bouncers, managers, whatever. There's this guy named Michael Orr, our MO, whatever. You gotta blank that out. I don't think it matters if he's dead, but so he was ex-military, and he was just an absolute pain in the ass douchebag. Like literally, I was one time I shit you not kicking him out. First off, how much can I just say as far as words?
Anything you want, man. Make yourself at home, brother. We're having a good time.
So perfect. So I shit you not. I'm looking this man right in his face. He's maybe 3 feet from me. I'm like, hey man, you gotta go. You're like being an asshole. And he's like, oh no, bro, I'm good. A person walks right behind him. He doesn't see him. He doesn't smell him. He feels the wind off of him. And he whips around and goes, did you see that nigga just fucking walk by me? And I'm like, bro, what the fuck? You gotta go, bro. So we kick him out, and we finally ban him for life. We're like, don't come back. You're done. About 3 months later, he kills himself. He doesn't know this yet. So I messaged him. I'm like, damn, bro, you remember that Michael dude? He's like, yeah. I'm like, he just fucking killed himself. And I just met his little brother who was in the bar tripping out. He goes, well, he's still banned.
I'm really glad you brought that back around.
Not memorializing you here, brother.
It comes full circle.
That's actually the name of our first pilot. It's called Still Banned.
It is.
Because it kind of shows a little bit at the beginning.
Karma's not 100%, but in this case.
Yeah.
Hey, in our pilot, he doesn't kill himself, but he talks a bunch of racist shit to the bar at the very beginning, gets hit by a car, the car drives off, leaves him dead. And then the whole episode happens, and at the very end, we're both looking down, us as bouncers, and him, like, well, he's still banned. So that's what sparked it all. And I mean, we have gotten so obnoxiously close. We had a guy whose best man at his wedding was Robert Rodriguez's little brother.
We got the hand of Robert Rodriguez before.
Yeah.
We almost had these two guys. They were willing to invest $100,000 because they
put their niece in there.
Yeah, they were of non-Christian descent, I guess you could say.
whatever. Hey,
It's
man, love some Robert Rodriguez, some Quentin Tarantino.
Well, yeah.
the best.
Apparently got into the hands of Kevin Smith not too long ago.
Yes.
And we're still waiting to hear from that.
David knows Ashley Moritz.
Oh yeah.
So her dude's brother was just in a mental health place with Kevin Smith. It was his roommate
In Arizona, right?
in Arizona, yeah. And they're trying to get him the script. Now Kevin Smith obviously can't go directly at him and be like, hey, read the script, but the brother, like, he's like literally Kevin Smith. I've seen the text message, so I guess it's
I thought you heard a bunch of good birds and give it to him.
yeah, no shit.
Oh shit. We're gonna keep our fingers crossed for you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is that what you want to do? You want to do series or do you want to do movies?
Both. I mean, like the series.
But the series is the best thing we have in our pocket.
Yeah, and that's not just say not to toot our own horn, not to say just because like we did it, but like we've shown other people like little bits and pieces of the script, and people have been like, "Holy shit!" Like, I want to see this. I want to, like people that aren't just our friends, like it's. So
I've gone out of my way to get the people that I thought would shit on it, and they're like, "I want more."
Yeah.
Like we've done the
Fucking
pilot,
awesome.
the pilot. We've done the second episode, and we've mapped because after 2 episodes, if you don't know, it's kind of it's not fruitful to write a third. The first one, cool, introduction. Second one, build the story. But if you do a third, you're almost wasting your time because let's say it gets picked up, and whoever picked it up is like, oh, well, we want a movie, or we want a smaller, all these kind of things. Well, you can pivot if you have 2. It's okay. If you start writing more like 3, 4, you do a whole fucking season, you're really shooting yourself in the foot because
You're stuck in that story.
yes,
now we're just trying to get it out there, and then from there, wherever they want, we can kind of
pivot. We can
Yeah.
pivot where
Got
we
it.
go.
we have a couple of ways that we
Hey,
can.
we were pivoting last Wednesday on Blow Your Brains Out.
Yeah,
Pivot.
Yeah,
I
it's a
forget-
constant pivot. Yeah, we have all different kinds of guests coming on, so we always have to like adjust our questions towards the guest, So
Well,
yeah,
the guest last week said something about pivoting in his mixing and stuff. I forget what it was.
yeah.
So you guys brought up pivoting again. I
Yeah.
like the pivot.
man, we really got spoiled. The very first time we ever did this, and this was after we had already started writing the pilot. We just happened to find this online, and it was a 48-hour film race. You have fucking 2 days to write, shoot, edit, turn it in. But the guy that we had, man, he's done like a Dark Knight commercial, Nike, Jolly Ranchers.
Yeah, he was badass. Yeah.
A badass. He came in with like a $15,000 camera, like everything. He edited it for us. Since then, we had to be like, oh shit, this is what real life's like.
Yeah, dude, 48 hours, that's a trial by fire right there.
Oh
No, yeah, literally, we all met at the place where we did our
bar.
Yeah, the bar. We do our because usually what they would do is they would draw out of a hat and we would pick which genre it would be. Like it would still be horror, but it would be like ghost or like vampire or zombie or some shit like that. So then we would all get our genre, then we would take it back and then do a story off of that. So
So
that's exactly what we did.
a line of dialogue, usually a
Yeah, we had added
prop.
yeah, they had one prop in there and a line of dialogue from a movie, like something like some quote or something.
So we went to all the way to like East Dallas.
yeah.
Had to come all the way back to his house, meet our people, and then go straight pretty much to the bar at like 2 in the morning.
Yeah,
while they're closing down.
luckily we had a bar to our. Luckily through all these shoots, we've always had a bar at our disposal, just because we work at the bar. We know people in the
Business
bars.
owners
Yeah,
and shit.
exactly. They let us like use their shit, so we've been kind of lucky on that part. But yeah, pretty much we just shot till like maybe 9, 10 in the morning.
No,
and then,
me and him. Me and him left at 10:30, like right as the day girl was coming in.
and then had everything cleaned up, and then.
Yeah, 48 hours was a nightmare.
I would say
But we also got
he
spoiled.
edited a couple hours, and then by Sunday was ready to turn in.
Yeah, like what the fuck? Like we got spoiled because he was proficient. Like before we even showed up to his house, 'cause we were gonna do it together. We thought before we really knew that you really shouldn't be over at editor's shoulder or any of that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
By the time we got to his house, he was like, "Yeah, I'm pretty much done." We just pay $100 for this software to black out trademark shit in the background. Like,
Oh yeah, you can have like Pepsi or Corona or Dos Equis.
so we got spoiled as hell, and then now the last 2-3, the flake bug has hit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that sucks, man. I'm sorry to hear that.
Which
But
is weird, 'cause, like,
for whatever it's worth, I hope that the track that I gave y'all will work out, soundtrack wise. I tried to, get the feel of the first Pablo and just, put my little Alfred Hitchcock spin on it.
No, I dug it, man. I love it.
I
Cool,
love it
cool.
too. Love hearing that.
Oh yeah. So, what kind of projects do you want to do? Do you aspire to do?
I think more of forte is like horror comedy type stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
Okay. So like Tucker and Dale, Cabin in the Woods.
either separate. One
Either of those
together.
would be awesome.
Yeah,
Like,
either
but even
separate one.
separated, like
Yeah,
he honestly he tends to lean, like, even if we have to do it, he tends to lean on trying to do a little bit of. I kind of want us at one time just go full balls to the wall and go just like uncomfortable horror. That's just kind of me. But ultimately, pretty much got it down where we can do both genres. I mean, we can do really any genre, but our goal really is to get Oprah fucking rich and do what we love and make movies, honestly.
Yeah.
Would you say that y'all have kind of like a Matt Damon, Ben Affleck kind of collaboration vibe, or is it more like the Coen brothers, or how do y'all vibe with each other?
I honestly would say actually almost a perfect blend of both of those. 'Cause, like, as far as the brain goes, Coen brothers. As far as our friendship goes, Affleck and fucking Matt Damon.
No, but
Little Jay, Silent Bob.
Yeah,
even.
There's not saying that doesn't come with like some like arguments and tips, but then at the end we'll always try to come to a medium. We'll always be like, all right, we'll shoot both ways, and then just see which one sticks better in post, and then we'll do that. Or if he's heavily leaning on one thing and just won't back down from it, I absolutely hate it. We'll just we'll try to make it work somehow.
And then whoever wins the argument, you're like, how do you like them apples?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Applesauce, bitch.
Applesauce, bitch.
Yeah. Goodwill hunting season.
And and I love this because like we were talking about before we got started, the story I was about to tell, like, I'll never forget it. It was the apartment that you and Hank had, maybe even Nick was involved in the apartment, but I just remember how excited you were to tell. It was like me and like I think maybe Sage. It's like how excited you were because Kill Bill just came out.
Kill Bill.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And fucking David was like, bro, you don't even know. Like, it's so fucking pumped. And it was like, I think that's one of the moments where honestly I was just like, fuck, I love movies.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah,
that would have been 04. So yeah, that would have been that apartment off of like Arkansas. No, Arbrook. Probably Arbrook.
Yeah, man. Like, I can kind of picture it too because I remember we all sat down and watched it together. We watched Kill Bill, and then we watched Kill Bill 2, and then we talked about even back then. We're like, oh man! And then they're gonna when the little black girl gets as an adult, it's gonna be his last movie. And she's gonna be the killer. Like, so hey, we're now what 20 years into that, or 15 years into that, and that's actually a possibility now. So hey, we call that shit.
Very cool.
Yeah, that was a crazy time because I think the guy that lived above us had like all different kinds of growing stations inside, and he was like making hash on the stove, and he had plants over here, plants over there. Then he stopped paying his rent, but he kept all the plants. So then one day we come home and they're taking just pounds and pounds of weed out of this guy's apartment, and they're bringing him down in handcuffs, and he looks at us all crooked like we squealed on him. It's like, we didn't have any idea what was going on.
I get you.
That's the approach to a scary movie. Yeah. He gets released from jail.
Fucking narcs.
Yeah, right. It's like, no, we were buying weed from you, man.
I kill everybody else.
And no, I'll be honest with you, David, too. Just to give you, give you some props too. Like, I mean, I was already a huge movie buff, and then started hanging out with y'all at a super young age because you're a year ahead of me, but same neighborhood, and so that's why I think me, Hank, we all vibe, because we talk about movies, blah blah blah. But really, like watching y'all, with Grain and shit, like I was telling him earlier, I was like, man, we're like 15, 16 years old, going into like Division 1, which I can't believe is still a vacant place. Going to like Division 1 is the first time I saw y'all, and going into like going to like Amarillo, going to like all these places where us as like underage people like Jeff fucking Lechtenberg, Bucky, like all of us, we just like, oh, we'll go carry some equipment and go in. Like that's really like, I think that's the first part of my life where I was like, oh shit,
Broke your ass in.
Right. That's why Grain never made any money. We always snuck people in through the back.
Well, it was just a true moment where I was like, fuck, man, like art, and no matter in what form, and just this kind of thing is just so much cooler than fucking regular life.
Yeah, and I
bro,
think
that's
and
so
I think you
beautiful to hear.
actually made it onto the Grain home video because
I did.
you said that one line. We don't drink. We get fucked up.
Smash. No, we get fucking smashed.
Yeah, that's when
Love
we were.
it.
That's when we were hanging out over at Nick's house, and like the cops
His mom's house, right?
came over and shit, and people were like doing meth in the bathroom and breaking tile and shit.
It was a rough time. I remember doing the fucking calling in favors video at Bowie.
Yeah. Oh, that was so much fun.
I showed him that. It's on YouTube. That was badass. We had me and Bucky are in the back of that Cavalier or some shit, and we're making it bounce.
Oh, that was so cool, man. We all had the tinfoil grills and shit. Hank had the giant fucking clock like fucking Flavor Flav.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That was great shit, man. That was some of the best. And I don't remember the black dude's name, but like when we were all whipping out because that fucking scooter, which was perfect timing, and then he got fucking flung out of the window and fucked this whole shit up.
I know, and not even on camera. He thought the camera was still rolling. I'm like, man, you just shredded your shoulder for nothing.
For nothing.
Ouch.
Yeah. If you're gonna do a stunt, make sure that the fucking camera is on you.
And Rick, if you haven't seen the video, it's perfect because literally, pretty much right at the end of the shoot, this security guard came out to kick us all out. And so the very last scene of the video is him walking away, throwing up these keys and just catching them. As we're like literally whipping out like fucking 8 cars deep.
Hell yeah.
And there's a dude hanging out the window, this black dude. Right as the camera cuts, he gets fucking flung out.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Shit, like it's
Hell, that's a music video for a Grain song?
Absolutely. Calling in favors.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have definitely seen it. I've listened to that song multiple times, so I've seen it, but I had to watch it again.
Yeah, we were trying to recreate the Houston, riding slab kind of videos and shit, but our own broke ass Arlington version of it. Have y'all thought about doing music videos?
I mean, I'd love to. It's a good way to expand. Honestly, we need equipment. Our problem is that we don't have a camera.
Really can't be a video cam.
Yeah, Kim. Hey, Kim, say hi.
Yeah.
Hi, Kim. Welcome to the show.
Just on the equipment. Honestly, we're going to invest in that shit. Right now, since we're doing just these small things, we pretty much relied on people that want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Which is now why we're in the kind of the predicament we're in now. Which hopefully, after we get off of this, we will secure that. But we are going to invest in the camera, and we are going to expand our abilities to do things because I'm tired of relying on other people to shoot.
That's like what about not going without a camera. Like we just need to get our own shit, and that way we just have some shoot it for us. So let's have our own camera and stay here.
And just shoot it ourselves. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Have y'all looked into like GoFundMe or Kickstarter?
No,
not really.
not if we were going to do that. I'll be dead honest with you. If we were going to do any of that, I wouldn't waste it on one of these competitions. I would do it when we decide that we're going to full on
do our show or something.
Yeah, we're going to full on do bouncers. Bouncers is our bread and fucking butter, our baby that's in our back pocket. Honestly, I'm mad at ourselves for not pushing it forward at this point. But we've had so many close calls to getting it in the hands of like Robert Rodriguez or Kevin Smith, and then a dude that wants to pay $150,000 to be an executive producer as long as his stupid niece is in it.
But the reason it hasn't happened yet, so
Maybe.
the universe isn't ready for it yet.
All right, so say you were given a camera and, whatever resources you needed. A year from now, what kind of movie or show would you like to create?
Bouncers all day. Our show.
Yeah.
I cannot stress how many
Even
hours.
if it was just the first couple, because what we want to do is we want to shoot the first at least
10
10
pages.
pages.
10 pages.
So that way, whenever we send it, then we can also send it like a sample of what what the show's gonna be like. Because you can shoot off a script and be like, all right, whatever. But once you actually see it, when you see where a vision is, then they'll be like, oh, okay, because it's gonna be like the best way to describe it is almost like
Always Sunny in Philadelphia did.
always said, but like also the show itself will feel like Roadhouse mixed with Shameless in a way, I guess you could say.
That's a decent way to say it, yeah.
It's a nice combination of stuff right there.
Yeah. And it's very unique. It's never been done. So saying Roadhouse, I don't want to do it justice because what we're doing. So okay, here's an even better one. Doing fucking like Any Given Sunday, how that gives you a glimpse into football, or North Dallas 40, but in the bar world. Because you see the bar world in shows or movies like even Cheers, they're still in the background. You don't get to see it's kind of like waiting, but for a bar world.
You'll see Ted Danson and Shelley want to suck each other off.
Yeah. Ted Danson's not fucking dropping his dick on the fucking bar top to get a fucking
which happens after hours,
There's been some shit.
Like where's the bouncer? Oh, he's out back plugging. Real quick.
It's so fantastical that it almost seems unreal, but we have so many fucking stories that we have no.
You would probably watch it, be like, that would never happen. Be like 90% of what's going on in the show has happened. So
like we have no lack of shit to write because fucking hey man, after me 3 years, him 5.5 years, more. God damn, I've seen this man fucking fat man roll over a fucking, and this is when he's like tip top shit to try to bring him a fight, roll over a damn pool table. There's a pool ball just perfectly in the middle, fucks his back up. Then rewind that before I start working there. Big fight breaks out. I hit somebody, he falls. I'm trying to protect this girl. I move her aside because some dude hit her. Bitch hits me with a pool ball. I'm like, what the fuck? I was trying to help you.
I punched the ball in midair.
I turn around, another throws a pool ball at full speed to the back of my head. It just happens to fucking
my house.
And that's like a mild fart on a Wednesday.
Hot pitching.
Dude, if you combine that with horror, I'll bet you could make a sweet remake of Near Dark.
I was like something in the bar seat and with horror would be kind of cool, like where you stuck you get to bat down the hatches and like Shaun of the Dead did it, kind of, but like I think the whole entire story being in a bar would be kind of cool.
If studios gave you the reins to remake a classic horror movie, what would you want to make?
That's fucking a good goddamn question.
Since Halloween has already been done, actually, I've been kind of talking about my own type of Halloween I want to do soon. Friday the 13th would be kind of cool too.
Yeah, but it's Phantasm.
Ooh, yeah.
I think that's the only one that does that, or Wishmaster.
Wishmaster would be
Both
cool.
those are so good, and they technology and like the time period.
Maybe The Faculty.
I think I disagree because I think The Faculty is damn near great as it is, and you can't recreate that cast, which is why the movie's so good. The cast is why that movie's so good.
And plus, The Faculty is pretty much a remake of Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Yeah.
Yes, and they even reference that shit.
Yeah.
And Donald Sutherland was the man, yo.
Oh yeah. So, what do y'all got on the horizon past Pablo 2?
Pablo 3, and then basically what our goal is, and we didn't when we did it last year, we really didn't even think about this, but when presented with this competition, we're like, fuck it, man. Let's do 3 of Pablo while he's still young and doesn't outage the role. We're gonna have to do a good job of whatever wounds and shit that happens to him will translate into making him an actual slasher as an adult.
Dude, y'all could go like Psycho 2, where, after like 30 years, you bring back Pablo and he's been rehabilitated after being locked away, but then slowly the demons start to return and he's like, am I a killer by choice or by instinct?
Yeah, that's what did. But Pablo already, he's a pretty big kid, so that's why I want to kind of get a jump on it because he's.
The Negretes are large people.
Yeah, got you some phantasm there. Keep going.
Yeah, he's only 12, but he's a pretty tall kid. So like me myself, I'm 6'4", 300 something pounds. So we figure I'm going to be like the new Pablo when he gets to, we're going to do like 30 years later or something like that. So
something we can expand on, something basically once, because ultimately, I mean, this stuff, if we're going to get practice out of it, learning how to shoot, learning how to edit, all these things, so we can get ready for bouncers. Why not make something fucking awesome in the process? We've already won a trophy off of Pablo 1, and we'd love to keep that going because our last one was a fucking disaster, and it was because our baby got killed in post. I mean, straight up, our editor completely boned us. Our DP, which ironically was our DP for Pablo, for whatever reason, he just did not see. And in all fairness, he's a teacher. He was running himself ragged, but it doesn't change the fact that it's like, hey, if you can't fucking do it, don't tell us you can do it.
Yeah, that's the problem. You got to pay for good help.
And that's the thing too,
and we don't pay.
Yeah, because like we're in that field where like it's not a big budget movie, so we can't pay people millions of dollars or whatever, thousands of dollars a year to be there. We only be like, hey, like we'll pay for your gas, your food, and some people take it seriously, but then somebody's like, whatever.
Yeah, we gotta hope that just they believe in what we're trying to do, and I mean, and I understand. I'm not mad at anybody that doesn't or anybody that's like, well, I'm gonna get paid. Hey, not mad at you, but it's just not what we're working under. Like, as most of the people that are probably like Robert Smollett and all them, I guarantee they're not paying nobody for anything. He's using his kid. It's probably his wife.
Yeah, very, very little people getting paid. I mean, like my whole family's in the line. I mean, most of those shots have been done in my house and shit. They're at the bar,
which they will be done now too.
Would you say the people working under your staff, they're mostly, hey, I'm just happy to be here, or fuck, let's do this, let's do that?
I would say they've been. I mean, really, since our very first one. Through. I mean, I will say that not one cast member, or I won't say digital because Michael was kind of, but I would say for as far as cast goes, they definitely have all enjoyed it. They've been having a blast.
Yeah, I mean, even on set, we always just try to have make it as much fun for people as much, because it's a long shoot, and sometimes I was kind of grueling, and sometimes you're sitting around, whatever. So we just try to make it, as fun for people as possible. We just and make sure everybody's comfortable too. So that's what it's all about. It's about having fun and then just making good shit.
Networking and just bringing really community together.
Yeah, because we want people to be like later on, like, hell yeah, I worked with them before. I would work with them, 1,000 times again. So that's what it's all about.
And we've had many repeat cast members and production people. So I think that's a good testament to that. We're, doing a good job of, making people at least excited and happy and having a good time, because they're not going to come do shit for free if we suck and, we're dicks and they're miserable and, that's just.
You're creating a good environment. You're not giving them a Jimmy Fallon experience.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or Ellen.
Yeah. Jesus. Yeah, exactly. No fucking Ellen. Yeah, experience.
Show your boobs.
Show your boobs. It's on the podcast. Show your boobs. We tried, y'all.
Yeah,
We tried.
Good. So, as actor directors, do you like the dual role, or would you rather do one or the other?
I dig it.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, especially like if one of us can be around for one or the other. I've done more of like acting because I did it longer. I've been in classes for Teresa Bell since 2015. I've taken some time off since COVID and everything and other stuff. But as much as I love acting, once you get on the other side, you start writing, you start directing, you start actually seeing like your own shit like being made. It's a whole other world too. It's awesome. Just being on both sides, I think is very imperative. I think you need to learn both sides if you're an actor or director or whatever, writer, PA.
And I'm almost the extreme opposite because I never really acted. I mean, bullshit here and there, like in school or whatever. But I've always been, proficient in writing and that kind of stuff. So it's been fun for me to dabble in acting. And I never, try to give myself too big of a part or anything. But it's fun. It is fun. It's fun to see yourself on. It's fun to see yourself on the big screen.
As big personalities we have, there's definitely no ego between us. We know that because we'll kill each other off in an instant. Like I think we've died in almost every single one of our movies. None of us has been like the hero or whatever.
I think I've literally died in every movie.
Yeah, and if we have, it's just because it's integral to the story or someone was better for that part. But I mean.
And it's fucking fun.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
You're the Sean Bean of short horror.
Yeah,
I'm Sean Bean for sure.
Yeah, yeah. He is the Sean Bean of Texas Horror Cult.
As he was showing, as Rick was showing the clip, I was the one getting beat by the baseball bat. As you see, like
I get killed like maybe 10 seconds after that. But yeah,
you get your little knife to the throat, and then he's a fat dead turtle in a bathtub. That's me. You see me in the background. You see my right foot. This was supposed to be longer, but time did not.
I'm gonna fucking kill him.
Uncle D! Oh, yeah, Uncle D's here. Awesome. Hello.
So, girl here.
You're a lifesaver.
Sister,
Pablo. Amazing.
They'll be
Okay. Bed by 10. Don't beat him after midnight. No knives, no nothing like that. No funny business. No hard liquor. Okay, good. All right, let's go. Come on, let's go.
Have fun.
Thanks.
Awesome, great. Let's go.
Good to see you.
Pretty, but not like married hell, real hell. Let's go.
this is my actual house.
Nice house.
Oh, thank you.
We're gonna bring back him, but he's taking
Nice aquarium.
What are you
Oh,
drawing?
wait, that's a TV. Ooh, pop.
Nothing, just drawing me and my babysitter.
Huh. Well, I got us some toys. Play cops and robbers. You know what this is? You just pull the trigger and it shoots. Oh, you got me. Okay, it's my turn.
No, I want to play hide and seek. You count, I'll hide.
One,
It's always
Two,
crazy when the kids ask to play hide and
three,
And you have to look very close.
4,
Almost didn't draw the movie too.
about 4 times.
5,
Or 3, I think.
Shadows are in the bedroom.
6,
We drew that shit.
8, 9, 10.
I turned it down a little so you can talk over it.
That's a great shot. Very Friday the 13th, the peering up from the shadows. I like that.
Yes. There's 3 times you can see Pablo in the background lurking.
Yeah. Everything around this guy, great cinematography, great shot composition, great shot selection. So yeah, y'all are definitely onto something. Yeah. Oh, see, peering away from following him down. That's beautiful. Great tension building.
And you hear the little.
Pablo, we're not playing outside.
I think you just sit back down and light one up at that point.
Yep. That finds my dead giant eyes.
Hey, man.
Good makeup word.
Hey. Pablo!
Don't run back in that. Oh, that shot right there is fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
That is a great shot right
he
there.
He didn't even shut the door. He didn't lock it.
Now, why would you run back into the house?
He's looking for Pablo. That wasn't Pablo. That was a clown. That dude on the street outside was a clown.
Oh,
Yeah,
for sure. But if
all
you
these,
whenever you
all
went to
these
the front
shots are
door,
fantastic.
Pablo's
Aren't they? Now the door's locked.
Pablo!
How about that? Oh, shit. That was great. Love it.
Yeah, but until he gets played in the bubbles, the bad guy.
That's about the only thing that could have made it better.
Not again.
Clean this up.
Clean this up. Good. Pablo, you've been a bad boy.
That laugh.
All right. All your laughs. That was great. Thank you very much.
Y'all are definitely onto something, man.
That's why we kept being told that, and that's why we want to really make a 3-parter of it to be an origin.
Even the guy who runs the thing, he goes, "You guys should just do Pablo. Just keep it going." He's like, "Why not? Give people what they want." So,
Is Pablo 3 going to be another trial by fire, or you going to have more time for that one?
Well, since because now that we know that we want to do 2 and 3, I would hope that we have plenty of time for the next competition.
Yeah.
To know ahead of time, like this one we had such a good DP set up, and he just really boned us, and that's what's put our feet to the fire now. And that's why, I mean, like I said, I didn't want to cut this, short, but we have to find a fucking cameraman because we have 2 days to shoot. So.
Oh, I understand.
Well, I want to tell everyone real quick to go check you guys out over at Texas Horror Cult on YouTube.
Hell
Go
yeah,
over there and hit subscribe. You see that subscribe button? Hey, I can go over there and do it right now, and y'all can watch. How about this? Where am I at? It's this one. See my little mouse there? Just go over there, hit subscribe, and then hit that bell over there. All.
Awesome.
That's what you want.
And it's a great way to find another local talent because there's every entry that's ever been in there, they put up on there. So we watch them all, watch a couple of them. There's a lot of good work in there, a lot of good filmmakers, a lot of good shit in there.
Oh, yeah. So I know y'all got to head out, but I like to end this interview the way I end all the interviews. Hector, Eric, I would just like to ask, how do you want to be remembered?
Art. The art that we create, something that we make that even when we're dead, it's still around and the people are watching, and our family members are remembered by it. People that have never heard our fucking names stumble upon it 20 years after we're dead. Like, that's how I want to be remembered.
Yep. I mean, so yeah, just by my work, how I try to treat people, and say wherever I'm gone, just fucking make me the ashes. I have all my friends storm me off a bar top. So there you go.
Well, y'all are definitely doing some great work. Everybody needs to check out Pablo and get ready for Pablo 2, set to hit
October 23rd at the Texas Theater.
Either way, it's gonna get done in this year. It's coming. So.
Is this invite only, or can you buy tickets?
No, it's open for the public. Yeah. I would say that they probably sell about 75% of the tickets. So there's definitely room.
It's a Texas Theater in Dallas.
Texas Theater, Oak Cliff.
So I'm on this here.
I think the tickets are normally about $10. Honestly, $10 to $12. Not much expensive. It's a great time. They usually have photo booths, people selling merch, food, booze. Like, it's a good time. They'll show all the contestants that night, and then after they show everything, they'll do the announcements of the winners, do the giveaways, all that kind of shit. It's very fun.
That sounds awesome.
All right, check this out. Here we've got Sunday, September. Are you talking about in
October 23rd?
October 23rd.
Right? Yeah, October 23rd. It'll probably kick off about 7:30, 8 o'clock. So.
Yeah, for anybody that hasn't been there, Texas Theater is like a real cool old-timey theater, and it's really fucking really cool. You can just feel the ghosts of Hollywood past just floating in the air.
Awesome.
Lee Harvey Oswald got arrested there after he killed JFK.
Yeah, but
Very
did
good.
he have popcorn and a soda?
Could you imagine if Lee Harvey had his own podcast?
No shit.
Okay. Like quiet.
Along with who? Who would be his who would be on his panel there? Lee Harvey?
Jack Ruby, easily.
I guess if Lee
No.
Harvey
Yeah,
were
man,
alive,
why'd you
Jack
shoot me?
Ruby
Well,
would
you were
be
there.
alive.
I didn't want to shoot you, but there was my gun, and there you were.
So don't you give me the dick, bro?
Yeah. Well, gentlemen, I wish y'all the best of luck. It's Spooky Pops Productions off and running, and it's going to make a huge splash in the coming months. So everybody check that out.
David, Rick, I appreciate it so much. It's fun as fuck. Honestly, I wish we could do it even longer.
We do it again next time. Yeah, definitely.
This has been awesome. Been great. That's honestly the first podcast either has done. This has been a great shit, and definitely we'll make sure we promote y'all as well.
Yeah.
This shit's been awesome.
Awesome. Come back anytime. Y'all are welcome anytime.
Let us know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Love you guys. David, you already know I love you, brother. Rick, nice to meet you, brother. And thank y'all very much for the opportunity.
Take care, y'all.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Love you guys.
Thanks for sharing
Be safe
tonight,
out there.
man. I've had a good time.
Love you, brothers.
Oh, man. It sucks that Ariel wasn't here for that. I bet she could have had fun with this one.
Yeah, I sure did.
Yeah.
So I'll go ahead and remove you guys from the screen. And,
Okay. Man, that's so cool seeing people that I grew up with or came up with, doing shit. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it really is. Thank you for bringing them on, Dave.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I really don't know who these people are. I assume they're somebody, something. They always are.
Oh, they're on the come.
I never really know, but I was, again, impressed this evening. Those guys, I'm going to go watch that fucking movie when we get done.
Oh, it's great. I love that backdrop you got, man. That's really cool.
Isn't it? I got Eddie.
Is that Eddie?
Mm-hmm. I'm a killer.
Very cool.
We're killers tonight. Yeah, I just noticed, halfway through the show that my Outlaw, and I've noticed it before, the Outlaw logo is kind of crammed in there. And so I was like, let me fuck around for a minute. And so I thought it fit the theme of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those guys, looks like they're, they've been working at it. And, that's what I believe, as long as you're pouring your heart into something, you're doing it because you enjoy it, Now, it depends on what you're talking about. You might enjoy cleaning swimming pools, so it might be a great thing for you to have a job cleaning the best swimming pools in the country club neighborhood, But if we're talking about music or movie making,
right?
In
Aim
your
for the
case,
stars.
Dave Jarvis, you just keep doing what you're doing, man, and you're bound to get there. And I see what you're doing here by having these guys on and then already submitting a song to one of their upcoming films. Fucking killer, dude. It excites me, man. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. Now, I held off on this because I didn't want to distract from the interview, but you asked me how my week was. Well, gather around, folks, because I'm about to spin you a fucking tale, all right? This last weekend, my band Dank played up at Mavericks. We opened for Mentors and Within Chaos.
It's time for a bold journey with Dave Jarvis.
Oh, yeah. So we get there. And we're all good. Hank is hanging, loose and limber. Opening band is Carrie, who did a bunch of Metallica covers. Did a great job. And then after that was Sancho Villa, which, by the way, if you get a chance, Sancho Villa is really fucking cool, like top-down cruising type of rock. Very, very, very good stuff. Blended perfectly with Dank.
About him. He spoke well about him on this show, Pancho.
Yeah.
Sancho.
Mm-hmm. And so I don't know how many of y'all know this, but certain people have nervous habits. Some people pace, some people, bite their nails. When I have a show and I'm anxious, I shit. So if you know me, then you know that if I have a show, the bare minimum is going to be somewhere between 2 and 5 shits for that day.
Two
This
and
day,
five, 2 and 5. You
two
got it
to
completely empty.
2 to 5. Yes, exactly.
Wow,
Well,
man,
this
I
was
feel
not.
for you. That's a lot of anxiety, man. That's
Yeah.
a fantastic measurement of anxiety.
Oh, it's
And
quite
that's a
painful.
lot of it. I understand it because, like, if I do have to shit, or even feel like I do, it's like, oh, fuck. Performing live, I'm playing guitar and singing, and so it can get into you. I feel you, but
Yeah.
thankfully it doesn't get into me like that. I'm very fortunate. What time of day do you, the listening audience, put it in the comments? What time of day do you shit every day? Everybody has a movement and a routine. And it's okay. It's all right. That's what we are. We're ourselves here.
Oh, yeah.
I'm fortunate, man. I did a few things right, Dave Jarvis. I made myself start shitting in the morning a long time ago. So I shit in the morning, clean my ass, and get it over with, right?
All right. Yeah. So, yeah. So this was not a normal fucking show, apparently,
So
because
do you
I
wait,
I
wait,
went. I,
wait? Do you normally shit in the morning, or is it an after lunch shit, or do you normally shit 2 or 3 times a day?
well, on a non-gig day, it's usually coffee and then walking around for about 2 hours, and then something starts to percolate. So yeah, it's usually in the morning.
Yeah,
Say
yeah,
probably around 9:30.
yeah. All right, so then there it is. So then if you've got a 5 on a fucking gig day, that's empty in the goddamn bladder.
Hmm.
And so when do you start drinking?
When I get home after the show.
Oh, really? You don't drink while you play?
No, no.
Unless somebody's buying, maybe?
No, not even then. I have to drive.
Oh, it's a drive issue. Well, then we, the entire Blow Your Brains Out audience together, are proud of you. And there it is, the bold journey with Dave Jarvis. Don't drive home. Drive home sober with Dave Jarvis.
All right, no kidding. Well, to
I
get
my
back to
my
this,
belief
so
is
my
is drive home safe. Don't fucking
yeah,
hurt anyone or kill anyone. And the goddamn despicable truth is I've lost some of my best, like some of the best people I know, dude. I have literally lost to alcohol. One is Sonny Guyona, and so just pay him respects. Really, it's a goddamn shame, man. But he's really one of the best people. Motherfucker never ripped me off. Isn't that funny? That's one of the ways I judge my friends. Motherfucker never ripped me off. Is that how you consider some of your friends? I mean,
that's definitely a
how
plus.
how high is thievery on your list with your friends?
Oh, if they stole, then they're probably a piece of shit. So I don't want to do
Then
anything
they're
with
not
them.
on the list anymore. That's my point.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Dave, we still have some shows to go over. You want to do some shows?
Well, I was still in the middle of my story.
Oh, well,
So
in that case,
yeah. So what I was saying is a normal show date, I'd take 2 to 5 shits. This was not a normal show date. I lost count of how many shits I took that night.
aha.
So basically, by the end of it, I couldn't swipe. I had to just dab because I had rubbed it raw and it was really painful. And I actually tore my asshole and it really fucking sucked. And it still sucks to this day. It's like 3, 4 days later. My asshole still fucking hurts. So I was like, okay, torn asshole, whatever. Let's play a good show. We get on stage and
Now, now,
Hank has been
god
mixing
damn, I'm
Dallas
gonna have to
Blondes
start.
with Coors Lights, with all different kinds of beers. So by the third song on the set, he was missing cues, he was missing solos, he was missing words,
And
and
Hank
when
plays guitar too, everybody. He's not just singing.
yeah. So when he skipped my solo on one song, I just turned around and Bill, our drummer, he looked at me and he could see the spirit just leave my body like fucking Young Guns and shit.
Yeah.
And from that point in, I just kind of phoned it in, and it really sucked because like an hour earlier, Wolf offered us a show, Thanksgiving. It was going to be November 17th or something
Nice.
like that. Do a whole show built around Dank and be a big weed
That's
fest and
beautiful,
everything.
bro. Beautiful.
And he wanted us to go on at 11, and I agreed. But then Hank totally blew it at 9. So then I had to tell the guys, hey, Hank can't handle 9, so we're not going to make it to 11. So I'm going to bow out of that show. And it really fucking sucked that he didn't tune his guitar. It was warbly, and it just sounded like shit.
Fucking Hank.
It's a terrible fucking show. And it was just another show in like 7 years of shows that just makes me not like playing live. Like Dank really has killed my love of playing live, and that really sucks to say.
Damn it, that story just killed my desire of drawing this Thanksgiving. I was already on the graphics.
I'm sorry, but
I hope you guys kiss and make up. I don't believe that
we're
you
not
won't.
fighting. We're not fighting.
I mean, in time for the Thanksgiving.
Right.
Everybody wants a turkey leg together.
But what's cool is in the bathroom, LT, the drummer for Within Chaos, came up and he said, "Bro, I love your fucking show. Y'all are funny as shit." So cool. Right. We got listeners, man.
Yeah, you just got some extra clangs in this time, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, the extra, it's the clangs and the clunks and the clinkers that make the difference, in between the beautiful riffs.
Mm-hmm.
You just got some extra danks thrown in this time.
Yeah, go me.
I don't know what to tell you. I can only imagine how challenging it is because, I don't drink, for example, until I start the show. When I start the show, then I'll drink, right? And, so I'm at least that conscientious of, what I've got to do. So by the end of the show, it is a toss-up. Because we were up to playing a 45-minute set. So that's my preference, is a minimum 45, hour set right in there.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I can take a few shots and drink a few beers. That's 10 songs.
No, right.
So I've been known to get drunk by the end of the set, or had a little more than what I was thinking or intending, whatever. But anyway, sorry that happened that way, man. You deserve better. Everybody deserves better. And, all I know to do is to tie this up with a beautiful bow and wish everyone better.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I hope we can all do better in the coming weeks and months. But yeah, that was...
Have a better Halloween, everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, I was going to tell you earlier, man, one of the last songs I was working on, and I haven't really played it, but we were working on it together as a band, so it was a band song, and electric written instead of acoustic written, so that probably has a lot to do with why I don't play it. But anyway, it was called Cool September.
It's been a while.
So how awesome of a concept is that for a song, especially if you're in the South? A Cool September is fucking way cooler than a November rain.
True. Very true.
That was my thought behind it in a sense, But, yeah, so Cool September was the last band song we were working on. Or really the first one that we were writing, fully as a band, that I didn't have any song before, or any parts. They were all new parts, I guess. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, it's always fun coming up with brand new shit.
Well, especially with that band, that's what it was, is I already had all these fucking songs I've been playing for years. 3-4 years now at this point. And, writing these songs along the way. And so, yeah, I had a 45-minute set. I just needed the people to, be committed to playing it with me. And I was very extremely fortunate in both Austin and Jesse to put that band together. And, yeah, I I think about it and was thinking about it I think about it, I guess, every September, because that concept isn't something that's brand new to me. You always wish for a cool September. Not sure how cool September is or may be.
Yeah,
But a
I
cool
wish I could get a
September.
cool September on my butthole. Shit, man, this shit is fucking
Well,
painful.
that's a great wrapping it and bringing it all back around, because I believe you need a cool September, or deserve, a nice cool September. And I'm just wondering, do you have assistance with that?
Uh, yeah, some Q-tips and this nice little cream.
No, oh, man, surely you got a couple of girls over there helping you out. Don't be holding out on us.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, I got a whole harem over here giving me rusty trombones 24/7.
I don't hold it against you or complain about it. Have you ever heard me complain?
Nah.
But I know, you're over there with your harem and you got cool Septembers up your butthole.
Yeah, it just sucks that I have to tear my butthole for a shit show.
God damn it. It really is, man. All I know to tell you is avocado oil. There really are. I'm a oil guy. What do you go with?
I got some hemorrhoid cream. I guess it soothes even the most savage of tears.
Well, that's true. If you have a hemorrhoid, or that, if it's like that, yeah, yep. But other than that, how about this? Let me rephrase my question.
Okay.
Do you do lotion, or what do you use for a lotion? Do you put anything on your skin or on your sores or anything like that?
Not normally, but this was a special occasion.
Well, no, I'm not convinced that this is the first time you've had a blowout.
Of this magnitude, actually, it is.
Oh,
Yeah,
damn.
I know.
I guess you might have kind of foreseen this evening coming.
Yeah, the check engine light definitely came on Saturday.
Well, it is what it is. And so, hey, here's a shout out to all musicians listening. The best to you and better always. But, you have a true musician right here in Dave Jarvis. Myself, too. Like, I could step into any band I could rehearse on a Sunday night, a Monday night, a Tuesday night, or a Wednesday night. And I can sing anything from fucking Rob Halford, Judas Priest, and Bruce Dickinson and Iron Maiden to, a whole nother spectrum of Marilyn Manson and Rob Zombie, or another spectrum. Like I can do David Lee Roth and Ian Gillan. But
Yeah,
this
I will
isn't.
say,
This show's
ladies
not
and
about
gentlemen,
me.
vocally, like music-wise, I will say, Ricky, you don't sound like anybody else, and that is a great thing to have in your arsenal. When you can't say, yeah, he sounds like this or he sounds like that. No, Ricky, you sound like Ricky, and that's awesome.
Well, thank you. I don't know exactly what you mean by that, but I know I can sing
You're
in three
unique. Is
octaves
what I'm
clearly.
saying.
I can
Yeah,
sing
you're.
in 3 octaves clearly, like every note all the way through.
Oh yeah, you definitely hit those high notes. It's fucking pretty fucking awesome.
Yep. And then I've got a falsetto where I can totally fuck around in, like Michael Jackson or Prince or any of that shit, dude. Now I'm not saying I can sing Michael Jackson. That is not what I said. I said I have a falsetto where I can get up there and do the Bee Gees. Yeah, I'm not gonna even bother. It's up there, but it's all fucking around. It's usually a lot easier and more natural when I'm just fucking off and having a good time. And so that's what, to me, like performing to me, Dave Jarvis, is just natural. It's the most natural thing ever. But if it's something that I have to focus on doing, like playing guitar and singing and exerting all of that energy and, like, entertaining, just doing what I do, then it takes a lot of practice. takes preparation. You know, you can't just walk out on stage and do that. I couldn't do it right now. There's no way possible. I could walk into a room with any drummer like Grego and a bass player and play all my songs and get them all down pretty quick. But
Do you plan on playing any shows coming up?
no, no, I'm just talking shit to you.
Oh, okay.
But I was really saying earlier, this isn't about me. This is about you, Dave Jarvis. And so anyone listening who is a seasoned, musician who has the time and commitment, Dave Jarvis is the guy to hit up, especially if you can sing, right?
Especially if you can sing, but especially if you can write your own lyrics.
Okay, there you go. Or both.
Oh yeah.
Really takes
Yeah.
both, right?
You can do both, absolutely.
So is that like Katie Lynn? Is she a good example of that?
Oh, dude, she was the best. I gave her the track on like a Tuesday, and she came back to me on the Friday with, she had written it, and then she erased it, and then she wrote something completely new, and then she just knocked it out of the park in like
Yep.
4 days.
That's what she said. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
kick ass, man. I love that. What a great fucking story, man.
A lot of these singers, I got to drag them out for months and shit. Well, I don't know if I can make it this day. Oh, right. I'm gonna get on that. And finally, it's like, bro, if I have to remind someone twice, I'm not gonna remind them a third time.
Okay, well, in that, with that in mind, bro, what are you doing Monday night, Tuesday night, and Wednesday night?
Monday, probably 10-hour
Wait, I know
day.
what you're doing Wednesday night,
Right.
but, I could actually bring my computer to your place and fuck with you there. But
Oh yeah, what you got?
No, dude, I'd like to stop by on a Sunday night, Monday night, or a Tuesday night and see what you're doing, see what you're working on, and come up. I'll bring my guitar over and my little keyboard, see what's going on.
Well, I don't actually have a home studio. I go to other people's
I know.
studios.
No, I'm talking about putting together a melody, putting together, constructing a song. I can write a song
Oh.
pretty quick.
Well, sure. Fuck yeah.
I can write a song really fast.
Me
All
too.
it takes to me is two melodies. From there, everything else are transitions, So all I really have to do is write two melodies, and most of my verses, sound like choruses. So that's kind of my fault. That's, if I have a limitation or, there's something about my song, there's a limitation to my songwriting. It would be that. But I can do that. I can write two beautiful choruses and make one a verse and one a chorus, and then fill in with transitions. And then from there, usually I write the lyrics. That's how I come up with it. Is I do the lyrics and the melodies at the same time. But I don't have to write, the lyrics to two verses or three verses at one time. I just have to write. I don't even have to write. If I'm going to do 8 lines, 8 measures in a verse, I just need to write the first 2 or the first 4 because I really need that flow. So usually if I can get the first 4, I'm happy. I'm like, okay, I know what I'm doing from here.
What do you do first, the lyrics or the music?
It kind of comes together, man. I usually...
Like, what do you like to write about?
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it. I mean, you kind of already know. Usually I'm writing about sex, and I write about sex in an innuendo way, innuendos and double entendres and, all that fun stuff. But I make it way more, it's not politically correct entendres. I wrote a song called Hard Candy Girl that I play on the show all the time, so that's that one. And
It's a great one.
The other types that I write are more angry type songs, Now, I write other type of songs. I have, I was passing on from that. Like I said, I was writing Cool September with the band. So I have another song called Watch My Wings Spread. So I have some other songs that aren't in that category of sex or angry.
Angry sex?
Oh, yeah, proud of it. Yeah, I mean, sex is violent. It's not me, it's them. If she's not saying Papa, you're probably not doing something right, or screaming, Daddy, Daddy or Papa. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
I mean, unless you know her better, if it's someone well, things, people adapt. But on those one night standers or first date, second dates, yeah, it's usually a papa and a daddy. And I don't have anything to do with it. It's kind of like playing music. I know that playing music makes you move. It's been making me move all my life too. And with other people playing music, it makes me move. But something about good sex makes a chick scream daddy. And I've never understood it. And I've gone through all the phases of, oh, choke me. And I'm like, And of course, you put your hands around the neck, and they're like, ah! And you can feel their pussy get wet. So you're like, God damn. Right? This is working. This chick's really into it.
All right, now the lead-in to the choke. That's what we want to know.
What about the lead-in? It depends
Like,
on there's too many environments. There's too many, but
At what point does it go from this is good to choke me, daddy?
Like the third orgasm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's one of my other things with sex is I usually get into 2 or 3 orgasms before I get mine.
You eat the pussy?
Not as much. I mean, yes, but not as much. I mean, that's a delicacy. How about that? Hey, but I massage. See my hands? I massage. Like I'm a touchy feely guy. Not in the emotional sense, but like I believe in massage, right? I've been massaging my knee. God damn it! How do you think I stay healthy? I'm 58 fucking years old. Do you see me walking around with, clumped over, going, No. I'm healthy, and one of the reasons why is I massage the parts of my body that I can get to, normally, like on a regular basis. It's part of how I've done it for years, all my life. And so I also massage my girlfriends. You already know. So I know 100 ways to make a lover.
Yeah, I knew I was getting old when I was watching the massage porn and actually enjoying the massage more than the porn.
I ain't going that far. I mean, I have been there. I've been there. What is this Chinese shit? What is that? Oh, he's massaging the pussy. But hey, we've rubbed one out on far less, prospectable, opportunities. Speaking of that, rubbing one out, do you remember the first movie or the earliest movies or sitcoms that you rubbed one out with? Who was your rub out girl when you were a teenager?
I'll be honest, right now we're in one of those periods where I can't really understand what you're saying.
No, don't bail on me. We still have a concert calendar to do. Look at this. Look at that graphic.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, and
Jarvis.
vote for Existential as a male solo artist. By the way, while you're at it, if you're gonna vote for Dank as country band and Against All Odds as I would put them as a rock band. Yeah, you should definitely type in Existential as a male solo artist.
Where am I at here? Damn it, I'm looking for my existential. I've got dank and dank and dank. And where's my existential? I know it's right here. Oh, I've got too many graphics here, Dave Jarvis. I can't find my way through them fast enough. I can find my
All
way
right.
back to these, though, because I got them down at the bottom.
All right. You're back to being clear again. All right. So what were you saying? What do I watch? What when I grow up?
Yeah, who's your rub out girl?
Oh, Selma Hayek, all day.
And what sitcom or in what version? Like what show was she on and all that.
Oh, well, I mean, I just find her the most beautiful woman of all time. She
But
still is.
like movies,
And
were
she,
you watching? Were you watching on DVD and backing that shit up?
oh, well, like, whenever she got naked in Desperado, and god damn, was she fucking fine in that. And then I don't
Now,
think she,
did you have a television rub out girl? Did you like when you were stuck watching TV and didn't have DVDs? You're watching a sitcom. Let's put it that way. Did you have a sitcom rub out?
no, because we had HBO, so the
Wow, look
the
at this
soft
generation
yeah
difference. I
the
love it, man.
softcore shit came on after 10 o'clock, so I just waited till my parents fell asleep.
Yep. Kind of
But
like
that was
sneaking
all
into the liquor.
yeah, that was all like Jenna Ford and or no Maria Ford and Nikki Benz and you know all those broads.
Yeah.
The mid '90s, Shannon Tweed, Shannon Weary, all the Shannons.
Movies?
Yeah, mostly. You didn't. I think you got nudity sometimes from like Real Sex or like Dream On or like Tales from the Crypt and shit, but it was never
Dude, I
long enough to rub one out.
I think that's like a documentary right there alone. You could trace like at least the manhood because you couldn't get enough women to admit it, right? It's just like women don't fart, but at least they don't stink. But
Oh, dude, some of the funniest shit I've ever seen is Brazilian fart porn. If you ever
right.
get a chance, it's fine ass asses right next to fine ass women faces, and the asses fart right into the faces, and they eat it like they're fucking brownies. And when they get a good fart that is actually grotesque, the faces that they make are beyond fucking hilarious. We're talk we're talking. We're talking about Lucille Ball when she drank Vitamita Vegemin, like fucked off faces. And that is some of the funniest shit you will ever see.
Oh my god, that's great. I love it.
Yeah, so all you kids out there at home, check out Brazilian fart porn. I guarantee you'll be laughing for hours.
Well, I'm already laughing for hours. All right, so that's it, man. I'm sorry I didn't put X16 Chill on there. I knew I was missing something, when you're doing shit, whether you're grabbing shit before you go out the door or whatever it is. You're like, what am I forgetting? And that's why you see BYBO there and vote, and I'm like, but I didn't have time to get back to it. And it was X16 Chill, everyone.
Yeah, it sucks there's also not a category for podcasts because you know what the fuck I'd be putting in.
Well, my suggestion is everyone just write it in. Just go ahead and type in BYBO and write it in. All right. So, with that, hey, we got a couple of shows. You want to talk about them before we get out of here?
Sure. Let's do
Hey,
that.
wait, you know what? I don't need to piss as much as I need to grab a beer. I think we should play a dank song or a chip tooth.
Sure.
Dank
Do it.
tune.
Because I actually
And
do have to piss.
hopefully our guests tonight are still listening, right?
I doubt it. I think they have to work in the morning.
I don't think so, dude. I think they can't sleep. They're listening, waiting for us to stop talking, if nothing else. But no, they're entertained, so they're listening. But
Oh,
they're
right.
gonna listen to at least the front of the show. They got to see what they sounded like. They won't be able to sleep until they do. So I'm thinking it's a chip tooth, man. But we can do All My Drinking Buddies.
Yeah, whatever you grab
We
first.
can do.
You
I
got that
got
new
my.
you got the new track I sent you.
Let's see. I do have that new track that I sent you, but I'm gonna have to get right the fuck back to you on that because, like always, when you gotta do what you gotta fucking do, like turn up the volume and take another second to say shit like that.
Hey, get some go!
I'll see you in about 3 days, Jarvis.
Working with the public, trying to take a piss while everybody asking me how much that is. Well, read it for me, Yoda, what those numbers represent. And then they pause for a second, say 99 cents. You did it, big guy, there's a tornado outside, so you rest your fucking life for a darn cool lights. I'm not trying to judge, but I'm hungover as shit, and every word out your mouth is fucking mongoloidish. Fake P gets more jobs than college degrees. Learning to read is as popular as Chinese cheese. Schizophrenics are my favorite, hopping up and down the pavement, rocking a hospital bracelet, asking if I got a basement, giving me some filthy cash that they just fished out their ass. Sanitizer on my hands won't wash away your stinking gas. Pointing at the product like they were a caveman, talking on their speakerphone, tweaker bitches need a tan. How much it? How much that? Give me some woods, Russian cream throwbacks. What that is, what that was. I'm still on paper, give me CBD buds. How much it? How much that? Give me some woods and Russian cream throwbacks. What that is, what that was. I'm still on paper, give me CBD buds. How much these is, Jesus, will you learn English? I ain't being facetious, I don't got motherfucking psychokinesis. Relinquish the money in your pocket, bitch, I mean this when I tell you wanna scream, cause I can smell your bag of shit with a hint of mildew. Got no hate, but you need some shampoo. Try opening up your mouth when you speak, fucking creep, sounding like a ventriloquist without any teeth. They be asking why I'm taxing, I ain't the government, I'm a Texan. You got some nuts and you wanna flex them, turn right around, go another direction. I don't care about your fucking election. Tell your bitch she give an erection, stick my dick in without protection, fill their ass up, make her have a C-section. Crack fiends doing back handsprings, yelling yes queen, asking for it, your boy screams when I'm the God screams. See the sign that says don't lean, I forgot you can't read. Forrest Gump's got you beat, Lieutenant Dan ice cream. How much it? How much that? Give me some woods, Russian cream throwbacks. What that is, what that was. I'm still on paper, give me CBD buds. How much it? How much that? Give me some woods and Russian cream throwbacks. What that is, what that was. I'm still on paper, give me CBD buds. How much it? How much that? 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 Give me some bullets, Russian cream throwbacks. What that is, what that was. I'm still on paper, give me CBD buds.
That's what I'm talking about right there.
Yeah.
Motherfucking how much this? That's some X610 chill, everybody. Dave Jarvis himself. I like that song as like something that it probably represents one of the better songs. Like it's such a well written song. I could hear that played on like any radio, 10 years ago at least. But well, I believe in it. I really do, man. I just wish that we both, but you especially, had that extra person that could step in and help you kick ass. A good manager, I guess, really. And you've already said you're willing to sell your soul for cheap, so you just need your own little Colonel, your own little Colonel Parker.
That'd be nice.
A true outlaw to show up.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work, man. But what you're doing already is a lot of work, and just even utilizing this show to connect with our guests tonight and our other guests in the past, I think that's fucking makes the show that much better. you know
Yeah. And what's awesome is having them on the show means that they have to use my song.
Yeah, well, it totally opens the door and lays the bridge to Gap, and to the connection, and even gives hope, and that's what every person wants and needs, is to have that hope that there's something to look forward to in the future. And we might just be kicking the can down the road a little bit or struggling along or whatever. I don't care, man. I think what you're doing is kicking ass, and I think we've got a great opportunity to help any band promote their music here, or any movie maker. I think it's fucking kick ass that you've tapped into these fucking movie people.
Oh yeah, and I love that they all have great personalities and they're great to work with. And next week, ladies and gentlemen, we have David Conant from Arlington Chat and Do and Arlington Nights, so we can discuss the Arlington music scene at Infinem next week. Very very much looking forward to that.
Me too, man. And so, what does air at Infinem? What
Uh,
is that? What do you want to talk about next week with David?
I definitely want to see, like how long has he been doing the Arlington Nights thing, and who were some of the guests that he's had, and how uh, how how he wants to benefit the Arlington scene in general. I know he wants to. He does the chat and do's the first Sunday of every month. He's been doing them for years.
Yep.
And they're a
Chat and
great
do,
place.
everybody.
Yeah, they're a great place to meet people, make connections. That's how I've met a few people, and it's just a great community of
Have
artists
you
that really want to help
performed?
each other.
Have you performed at a chat and do?
No, no, they usually have like a singer-songwriter or like a rapper. Um, but no, I've always just shown up as an audience member.
Oh, bro, you need to, put in your. I
But
mean,
that
but you don't really, you
that
don't really perform solo, do you?
I have,
But you
um,
don't,
but I
and
I
that's
haven't
okay.
I haven't in some years, no.
Yeah, yeah. Have
But
you
that is
thought
that is
about
where that
putting
is where I
something?
learned about Jimbo Moody.
Well, before we get into Jimbo, and I'd love to get back to him because I love me some Jimbo Moody. He's my personal loving friend, man. Love on that brother any day. Uh,
He's great. He's got a great album.
yeah, yeah. The Airstream Outlaws, and I take that personal. That's a personal compliment to me and my influence in people's lives. He's got my name there, Outlaw. People complain about that, right? There's already enough outlaws. I've been outlaw video TV for about 16 years. You can go back and trace it. My videos are online, and but anyway, I've been outlaw video TV for fucking at least 15 years.
Oh yeah.
So I consider my influence, even if it's indirect to a very minuscule degree, to be there. And I love Jimmy Moody, man. He goes back to my teenage years, and everybody check out some Airstream Outlaws and have a good old time, man. He's focused and working hard on that shit.
Yeah, man. He's got an album called King of the Trailer Park, and it's really great drinking by the poolside music.
Now I was gonna say something else before that. I forget what it was.
We were talking about the chat and do's.
I don't know. I'm looking
Oh,
forward to
you
talking to David next week. That's for sure. I'd
yeah, me
really
too.
like to see what's planned for downtown Arlington or planned for Arlington. Um, I don't mind telling you, bro. I grew up in Arlington. I was born in Arlington, goddamn Memorial Hospital, just like David Jarvis and Hank Jarvis. And
We were not born in Texas.
oh fuck you! Really? Where were you born?
We were born in Mission Viejo, California.
Oh wow. Well, okay, man. Should I pivot now or pivot?
Pivot. Pivot.
Pivot later. Okay, so I was born at Arlington Memorial Hospital in 1965. I went to Arlington schools. I grew up under the suppression of fucking Arlington police as a hippie, a weed smoking little kid. And I love my city. Like, I know Johnson Creek from Veterans Park through Six Flags, Like, I know every inch of that fucking creek. I knew every property owner. I knew every garden. I knew every peach tree, every peach tree, pear tree, pomegranate, pecan, down the list, That's how I survived as a kid. I didn't know I was surviving. I thought I was just, like, living, right? But I was, having a good time as a kid in Arlington. So my heart and soul and life and blood and sweat and tears are right there. So I love Arlington. And, I'd be blowing smoke if, there wasn't a real reason. But there's some real fucking talent that's come out of Arlington, Texas. And there is a real reason, Arlington, Texas, to fucking celebrate that, to do something with it, to make, all things happen. But I don't expect them to, bro. Just like I don't expect any government to do anything that makes sense. How about you?
No, I don't expect anything ever.
So that makes Dave Connett's, plight that much more honorable, right? Because he's very much known as the Arlington music guy, and he's fighting against that grain. They're not working with him, I don't think. But I'd like to hear it. I'd like to know that. I'd like to know what kind of things Arlington might actually have planned, for the musical future.
Yeah, I'd like to see more music festivals in Arlington with more Arlington artists. Like whenever they have Arlington music festivals happening in Arlington, there's a whole lot of bands from Dallas and Waco and Fort Worth, and it's like no, Arlington has a shit ton of a great artists that you could fill an entire music festival, a diverse music festival. You don't need to outsource shit.
Well, not every month, not every week.
Because I know they do the Rambling Roads Festival, and they just bring in all different kinds of out of town and out of state acts, but it's supposed to celebrate Arlington, and it's like, well, why don't you just keep it Arlington artists? There's plenty of us.
Well, or at least include more. I'm not, I understand that Arlington is, in my mind, we could argue, I'd hear you out, but in my mind, Arlington is greater than Dallas and Fort Worth, and it always has been. And I always knew it was, and sure enough, here we are today with the Dallas Cowboys and the Texas Rangers, and, we're in the center of Dallas, Fort Worth. So, to me, what makes sense is to bring the B-52s and the, even the bigger concerts, bring them all, but also, really support two things. What you're saying, existing local bands, because that's always what it's about primarily. But then also our true history and heritage, which on the heavy metal side includes Daryl Abbott, Pantera, and, ready, Rigor Mortis. It's not just Pantera, it's Rigor Mortis. I met Casey Ann Harden in 10th grade at Arlington High School. Okay? I hated going to school. I fucking hated it. Right? But there was always something, like a loophole somewhere. Something always cool about everything, right? That included school. And so my experience in 10th grade at Arlington was multiple, but meeting Casey and Harden was really cool. Some other headbangers. So what does that mean? Casey, this was 81 when I was in 10th grade, 16 years old. So that's when Motorhead came out and Raven, like the earliest of the earliest new wave of British heavy metal. And so those dudes were into that shit, So we became friends. And that's how Warlock was formed, because Jerry met Casey and Harden and started Warlock with my brother David on guitar. So those guys became fucking, rigor mortis, signed to Capitol Records. So I'm sure there's a lot more, but those are just the top two, right off the top of my head. Celebrate our fucking history. Right?
Hell yeah.
Bro, I'm telling you, man. The fucking Mike Scotia is attached to rigor mortis, That's fucking ministry shit.
And there's a bunch
of given his life to the manager of ministry and those coyotes and savages for the sake of the cause.
And then there's all these mainstream artists that came from mid cities, Post Malone and Selena Gomez and Pentatonics,
Yeah, that you could bring into the Arlington, idea. Sure, you could. I'm sure Look, the way you could bring Post Malone specifically into Arlington is his daddy runs. Don't ever kid yourself, bro, when you think like all these rock stars like Post Malone, and I'm not disrespecting, because I how much I appreciate Post Malone, right? But I just like to be really transparent, not pretend to be, but just really what's really up. Well, his dad is the manager of operations for Jerry Jones at the stadium, and has been since the old days at Irving Stadium. So Post Malone grew up at the Cowboys Stadium with his dad as manager of operations of all the concessions, of all the everything from eating to beer to drinks to t-shirts, all concessions. His dad's been in management at the top all of Post Malone's fucking life. So Post Malone knows a lot of people and knew a lot of people. For example, here in this area, if you asked me, if you said, hey Rick, who do you think I should contact with my music? X610 Chill, Dave Jarvis. I go, dude, there's this really cool guy, man. He's all that in a bag of chips. His name is Chris Arnold, man. He's one of the coolest fucking dudes in Dallas-Fort Worth when it comes to music.
Oh, yeah. What's he do?
He's one of those guys, you have to know him to know that. And if you just don't know him, you just don't know that, and it's okay.
Could we get him on the show?
Thank you. It's possible. It's a long stretch, but it's possible.
I didn't think I could get Ian Saint from NPR on the show, but guess what? He's coming on in like 2 or 3 weeks.
Well, can we come back to that? Because that's fucking really cool, and I definitely want to talk about it if you got a minute.
Sure.
But Chris Arnold, he's on ESPN Radio, 105. He's on sports radio, right? He's a sports talk show guy. That's not all he is. He's the announcer for the Dallas Mavericks. If you go to the Dallas Mavericks show, the guy that's yelling the whole time going, hey, and the goddamn Dallas Mavericks, everybody, yo! That's Chris Arnold.
I like that guy.
You goddamn right you. Everybody loves Chris Arnold. Everybody, you can't not love him. I'm telling you, he's one of the best fucking people. He is the best person in radio, like host guy wise, and he's not part of the freak. I'm thinking it's only a matter of time that we're going to see Chris Arnold on The Freak. How about that, everybody? But anyway, he carries ESPN right now. So, you know, I think when these guys pull up to their meeting table and go, how are we gonna get? How much is it gonna cost? You know, ESPN's already paying a pretty good amount. You know, guys probably making a couple of $100,000 a year, or 300 a year, maybe $1 million a year. I don't know, dude. I mean, I hope he's making $1 million a year.
Well, they better gotten a boost after all those people ESPN fired recently.
Man, he's radio, so I'm pretty sure it's two totally complete, like, institution compartments of ESPN. Believe it or not, when it comes to management and investment and all that movement, you know, goes. But I don't really know. All I can tell you is that Chris Arnold, bro, you should hook up with him. He'd be a great person for you to hook up with. He'd be fucking great for our show. And I've met him a couple of times, and like the last time that I saw him was at one of their, you know, shows in Lincoln Square, not Lincoln Square, the one in Highland Park in South Arlington.
Yeah.
One of those restaurants over there. And his first question to me was, dude, you got your music with you, man? You know, I was like, that was right after I quit Mr. Freak, or not I quit, but Mr. Freak and the Freak Show band was totally over. And I was focused on my, whatever, you know, my solo songs and putting together a band. I can't remember. I think maybe I had Austin and stuff going by then. I can't remember. But I was like, bro, let me get right back to you on that. Because I didn't want to give him Freak Show band stuff and then not be able to go out and perform those shows, you know. To me, performing shows goes hand in hand with releasing music, you know. And so anyway, yeah, I bypassed and didn't give him my music. But you should. And to bring it back around to Post Malone, is that he watched Post Malone grow up. So he has amazing Post Malone stories, and that'll just kind of give you a start of an idea of how awesome of a guy he is to listen to, because he's been paying attention as a host for a long time, and he's got a lot of music connections and sport connections, and just really, he's just at the top, dude. Chris Arnold, everybody.
I'll have to check him out then.
Yeah. Well, if you're into it at all, you know, it's not like I wake up in the morning and go, hey, I got to listen to sports radio. See what's going on today. God damn it, in sports. Or the other side, which is, see what those clowns are doing today. See, goddamn, they're so funny. You know, it's nothing like that. I'm just in my fucking car driving like everyone else. I guess when you're driving, you don't drive that far, maybe, or you have your phone plugged in. What do you listen to when you're driving?
I usually listen to Jim Cornette.
On your phone? You plug your phone in? Or...
Yeah. Jim Cornette, he was a wrestling manager for WWE, and
really,
yeah, and
damn right you do.
And he just talks all kinds of shit about like the Ultimate Warrior and shit.
He's your motivation for the day.
Because he's really good, because it's just him and his co-host, and they don't have guests, and he will just ramble on for like 3 hours, but nothing he says is uninteresting. So he just has, I don't know if he's like on the spectrum or something, but he just has a way of speaking endlessly that just keeps you riveted. Like he talks about food, and it will literally make you salivate even if you're not hungry, because he just has this way of speaking.
Damn, did you see those green beans? Did you see the bacon grease glistening in the light? God damn, there was bacon in those green beans, and onions and tomatoes. good. They were so good.
Mm-hmm. And he's a Southern boy. He's from North Carolina, so I understand where he's coming from. Where he's like, yeah, Mama Cornette, she would say, get out of the house until it was time to come back. They would ring a dinner bell, and that's when you know you had to come back home.
After she went to see Aunt Jemima,
Mm-hmm.
got those Aunt Jemimas all cooked up and flipped.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, that's right. Aunt Jemima was the syrup. You
Hey,
got
you
the
can put that on
pancakes cooked
anything.
with it. Hey, man, I tell you something that this is another way to gauge society is that people my age were very fortunate, but a lot of us were lucky like this, right? To have a grandparent who cooked bacon in the morning before you woke up.
Oh, that's the best wake up call right there.
Oh God, dude! Like staying the night at my grandparents' was the best thing ever. If for
What?
no other reason, dude, it's like you knew you were gonna wake up smelling bacon. Like she just knew how to like when you were gonna wake up and the right time to start it, so that dude, it was like just getting cooked when you were.
What's your alarm clock set for? Bacon.
Yeah. Uh, so did you have a grandparent or a parent that were able to pull you? Because my mom didn't, not a hope in hell. My mom didn't cook shit ever. I'm kidding. She threw a few things. She slopped some shit together. So anyway, were you fortunate enough to have someone in your world to wake you up with bacon?
No, it was mostly Honey Nut Cheerios, but every now and then, yeah, they would go all out, especially when Gran came over and made some delicious Alabama fudge, or Aunt Kelly would come over and make some delicious, string bean casserole or something, and
No.
mom could
No.
make some amazing fried chicken, and yeah. So when
It
when
it
they
took
wanted
it
to,
took that it took that like that mentality, bro, that was before our parents' time, and people today, want to dismiss it as like a something that's not all that cool. So like you know. What do you mean mom was there to cook all the meals and keep the house clean? She could have been out working, you know. Well, no, she actually, what happened was grandma and grandpa sit down together and said, "Hey, you go out and work, motherfucker, and bring home the bacon, and goddamn it, I'll cook it." That's they made a deal. And we want to think back today like they were suppressed. And I'm telling you, my grandmother was not suppressed. She was very thankful to cook that fucking bacon, bro.
oh yeah, our Gran was so happy to cook for us.
Yeah, yeah. But people want to make that time out of a man going out to bring home the bacon and a woman being at home like women were suppressed or something, and they weren't suppressed. I'm not saying that women weren't suppressed. I'm just saying that in that sense of a woman staying at home, no, it was just like, hey, the guy would have preferred to stay at home too. Hey, let's both stay at home, right? Wouldn't that be ideal?
Fuck yeah.
Goddamn right it would be. But somebody's got to go fucking make the money and bring home the bacon. So it was a deal that men and women made back in the day. Hey, you go fuck, and it was, more so the women. You go fucking make the goddamn money, bring it, and I'll cook it. And the good women, man, they cooked it. They cooked the best damn bacon that's ever been cooked, and fried the best eggs that's ever been fried, and flipped the best pancakes that's ever been flipped. That was my grandmother.
Oh yeah. So if you want to be a good woman in this day and age, make bacon and suck dick.
Well, it's funny you say that because I often wondered what she was doing for my papa other than that,
Oh, you know exactly what she was doing for Papa.
Yeah, And so it's pretty cool. Hey, so bringing it back around to earlier, you know, maybe he was still choking her out at the age of 70. You know, maybe it's not a new trend. Maybe it just like came back around. But you know, here's the cool thing about choking out is that and all that. We were talking about it earlier, everyone. You have to go back and watch the video if you just joined us. But you know, is that that's an old trend, man. Chicks have moved way past that. Chicks are totally into butt fucking these days, and that's great.
Sure.
I support birth control too.
I support that uncomfortable look that they give.
Oh, I didn't do it. It's like choking out. I wasn't into choking out. I wasn't into titty bars, bro. Do you realize you're talking to a guy that made a career out of fucking DJing and titty bars and like revolutionized the industry here locally? You know, I wasn't into titty bars. I just needed a little money. I had children at the time, and I had a friend that was like, "Hey, you want to cover my shift?" I told you this story before.
Yeah.
You want to cover my shift? As like for $100, I think is what he told me. You know, all in one sentence. You want to cover my shift for $100? It's like play music like Skinner and Michael Jackson and shit. It's like, yeah. I was already DJing at KNON, right?
Nice.
And so I was like, damn right I do. And so I did. And the next day, and he's like, you come back tomorrow? I was like, fucking, oh, and the girls all gave me like $3 and $4 each, you know. You know, but there was, 12 or 13 girls, and that $3 added up, you know.
Yeah.
Especially when he was giving me 100. And especially since it was 25, 30 years ago. And so, yeah, dude, that's it's a whole different world today, isn't it?
Well, definitely. Well, I wish I could get somebody to cover my shift tomorrow, but I can't. So I have to depart right now.
Well,
but you know what? It's been a pleasure and an honor. And thank you, Eric and Hector, for coming on the show with us tonight and discussing your latest project. We very much looking forward to Pablo 2 and Pablo 3. Remember to vote. First annual DFW Music Choice Awards hosted by Platinum Music Company, October 12th. Remember to write in Dank for your favorite country band, Against All Odds for your favorite rock band, and Existential as your favorite male solo artist. And also suggest to them that they add a category for best podcast and then throw in Blow Your Brains Out for that one.
Boom.
But other than that, I got nothing else. Ricky, what you got?
Just a couple of shows.
Okay.
Yeah, I've actually got a couple of more shows because you guys have a show coming up, and I have a graphic for it, and I'm certain that I uploaded it, but I don't see it here, and sometimes that happens, and so I just need to play a song and upload it. So I was gonna play a song or two anyway, so I will show those graphics in a little bit. But this weekend,
Looks like we got
pay.
Take Home Pay, Asphalt, Beyond Destiny, and Elsie Frederick over at Mavericks on Saturday at 7 p.m. All right.
That's pretty cool. Talk about downtown Arlington and someone keeping it alive. That would be Elmo Jones Productions.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, do you want a little tidbit fact? I know you got to go. Nobody's going to cover shift tomorrow. I wished I could. I would, but I'll cover you tonight. Right down the street on Main Street from Growl and Division Brewery and the Maverick is a building called the Jones Building, and you can see it. You look up there and it's like inscribed in the marble front of the building. It says the Jones Building. That's my grandfather, Elmo Jones.
Oh, badass, man.
Isn't that badass? And
oh, yeah.
That's where this Elmo Jones Productions comes from, and why I'll never get tired of promoting it. But it's also because he's in downtown Arlington, just like this show. We were talking the other night about Arlington and other venues, and there are other venues in Arlington like Pearls.
Oh, I love Pearls. Rogue Radio live at Pearls this Saturday. Playing all your favorite hits.
Isn't that fucking cool? And then over at Mansfield, Dirty Job Brewing, they've got an Oktoberfest
in September
with some Oktoberfest beer. All right, so there you go, man. I kept you a little longer.
Well, God bless you, sir.
All right, everybody. Join us every Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Thank you, Dave Jarvis. I really, truly, genuinely fucking appreciate you, bro.
Pleasure's all mine, Ricky. I love you. Have a wonderful night and a wonderful weekend.
Say for yourself.